Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by texting 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets, 347-496-1022. Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numero Beta. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. That song saved my life. That's one of the songs throughout my life that saved my life. That song by Michael Jackson saved my life. And it made me look myself in the mirror and ask myself, what am I doing? And at that time, let me tell you where I was at. I'll tell you where I was at. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, when that song hit number 1, I think, on the tracks. Or it may have already hit number 1. Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And I was selling incense and oils for the Ansarullah community at that time. I remember vividly. And I was going from place to place, bars to bars, because if you know Cleveland, in certain places they get those are bar cities, places like Philadelphia and all that, but especially Cleveland. And I went to the jukebox. Nobody wanted to buy anything inside the bar and in that lounge. And I went to the jukebox and I played Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. And tears started coming down my eyes in the bar. Michael Jackson had a very powerful soul. And being born on a day like this, the 29th, which is 11, 29 is a very auspicious number because it can attract deceivers and people that can be treacherous. And, you know, Michael Jackson had a lot of people that was just trying to leech off of them. People born on the 29th or under that 11 frequency or under the number 2 or number 20 or the 7 or the 25 or the 16 have to be very mindful of energy vampires. Got to be very mindful of energy vampires throughout their life, you know? And that song brought so much tears to my eyes that I played it over and over in the bar. And I wasn't drinking, I was selling. I was trying to, make a quota for the community at that time. But that song, I think I played it like 2 or 3 times, but I kept on playing over. Michael Jackson's song kept on playing over and over and over in my head. Got to make a change. Got to look at the man in the mirror. How many of you are taking that look in the mirror of who you are and what are you supposed to do? Are you allowing your purpose and your function here on earth to be what it's supposed to be? So many people might come to me to become a client or do a numerovational session with me. And yes, numerology and astrology can give you indicators of what is some of your grander functions and grander purpose in this realm. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to walk what you're talking, then it will lie dormant inside of you. It will lie dormant inside of you. You will keep your gifts to yourself. And I remember the great Les Brown saying that, quoting somebody, and he said, he said, imagine yourself at your deathbed. Imagine yourself at your deathbed. And not only are your family gathered around you, but also all of your gifts, your talents, and skills that you were born here with, that you never got to use, that you never used. You squandered it. You was afraid of it. You ran away from it. It's real. All of your gifts, all of your talents, all of your skills, not just your family members gathered around you on your deathbed, but remember your gifts, talents, and skills, the spirits of your gift, talents, and skills come to you to let you know what you coulda, shoulda, and would have been at the end of your days in this realm. You're going to be reminded of the gifts that you had, that you ignored. But if they come to you at your deathbed in the last moment and said, yo, we came to you and you didn't use us. We came to you and you did not use us. I'm using my numerovation. And it's not just to secure the bag, it's to secure a mind state, to keep my mind at a balanced state also. So remember, Michael Jackson, MJ, represent a powerful energy that came through and left his mark. Michael Joseph Jackson. All of them have master numbers. Jackson has a master number 22. Joseph has a master number 11. Michael has a master number 22 and 33. So Michael Jackson came through in 50 years to do what he did. 50 years he did it. And 50 represents the power, the protection, the transformation, the walking through a protective and divine womb that he came, he did, he conquered, and he kept it moving. Whatever Michael Jackson built in this realm, I'm sure that he got it in his own in the next realm that he's in. So big up to Michael Jackson. Today is his cosmic return, his born day. And yes, he is of royalty. And that is a royal energy that you have to respect. played a Michael Jackson. First song I played just now when I started off this live is Man in the Mirror, because every man, which man in etymology means the mind. So every man, woman, or mind have to look in that mirror and see their reflection and ask themselves, what is it that I'm going to leave on this planet, whether it's big or small, because Michael Jackson left his mark to the point that they still debating about him being one of the greatest entertainers in this dispensation of our time, those who got to enjoy them. You got Beyonce coming up, you got this person coming up, you got that person coming up, but Michael Jackson still held his own. Prince still held his own. James Brown still held his own. Whitney Houston still held his own. Billie Holiday still held her own. Aretha Franklin still held her own. Diana Ross still held her own. Shaka Khan still held her own. Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Teddy P, all of them still had. Chris Brown, Johnny Gill, New Edition, they still have memorable music that they decided to leave their talent here. And even those that I mentioned that are still alive, their music their music will live on for generation to come. So whatever you do, like Michael Jackson, whatever you do, like Michael Jackson, take the time out to discover your talents and thank the creative force for his mother and his father. I don't care what nobody say about Joseph. I don't care nobody say about Catherine. If it wasn't because of those two loins and that the yoni that he came out of, and the loins and the scrotum that he came out, he wouldn't be who he is and who we know today, because he came out of his divine mother and father. And the father was the discipline, the mother was the love, and he needed both sides. I was listening to an interview with either Jermaine or Jackie Jackson, and one of them said, it's either one or the other. He said he remembered the first time Michael Jackson got a whooping. He remembered the first time, whether he deserved it or not. Obviously, children deserve it. Sometimes Michael Jackson wasn't void of being mischievous and all that. He wasn't void. So Joseph put a wax to that ass. And sometimes some of us need that early whooping to remind us that there are consequences to bullcrap. According to the interviews, they were saying they was mischievous. They was children. They doing their thing. Children do what they do, and children will test their parents. Children will test their parents. Oh yeah, I wouldn't whoop into my children too. But children will test their parents at no matter what age, even to this day, although they're trying to pass all kinds of laws that you can't lay hands on your own children. It's when they do something crazy, but when it comes to how in the world that you can't lay hand on your children, but if you let your child do the madness until he gets older and then he does it on the street, they're going to lay hands on them or kill them or kill her. So discipline is needed. Discipline is needed. Discipline is needed. No matter if you take away something from them, or you put them in a corner, or you put them in push-up position, or you put them in finger push-up position, or you have them in standing in horse stance for an hour or 45 minutes, whatever discipline you could do that's going to be effective. Michael Jackson got disciplined, and through the discipline of mother and father. But Mother Catherine gave the love and the womanly discipline, and Father Joseph gave the manly and masculine discipline. That's not toxic. They're calling them toxic, but that's not toxic, especially for the time he was growing these children up, where they could have been killed or lynched in Gary, Indiana, and different places. So we better get the timelines right. Why even Joseph did what he had to do. And when they got older, they separated but they had to still commend him and show the mom and the dad respect for raising them. Yeah, they was angry at their mom because their mom and you're going to be angry. Because sometimes women, when it comes to their boys, they let the boys do all kind of bull crap. And I've seen it in my own family. Sometimes they let the boys do all kind of stuff. And then sometimes the men let the girls do all kind of stuff. But if you don't put it, let me tell you something. If you believe in God or Jesus or Muhammad or any kind of creative force, the greatest discipline is nature. Nature will discipline your ass and send floods and fire and earthquakes. Oh yeah, there is discipline. And sometimes people on the planet need discipline to remind them. Pandemics, all of that start coming, diseases start coming. There's a discipline because when these things start coming, it alerts us to remind us that we better get ourselves back on mother flipping point. So the energy of Michael Jackson and whatever he went through as a child, he needed that discipline to become the disciplinarian that we respect and love and celebrate to this day. To this day. So love and honor back to the great, forever in people's minds, MJ, original MJ, not just Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson living around the same time. MJ's has been created. And what's so funny about the letters MJ, 4 and 1 in both system of numerology, 4 and 1, and that equals 5. 5 is the number of power, refinement, 5 fingers of power. 5 represents power. That's when you bold these 5 fingers. When you put those 5 fingers together, it makes a more powerful hit. 5 represents power, refinement, freedom, adaptability. So MJ, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, those initials have power to it just because M in the Pythagorean and the Chaldean is a number 4, and J is a number 1 in the Chaldean and the Pythagorean. So that's a consistent, powerful number, the M and the J. But the M says they have to be structured, disciplined, organized, if they want to accomplish the greater goal, and then that will lead to the leadership quality. Because if you're disciplined with the M, the 1 says lead because you've been disciplined, you've been focused, you've been organized, you're ready for your leadership qualities, your leadership creativity. So MJ, in whatever form it comes. Michael B. Jordan, now he added a B between that. So that adds the M, 2, and 1. So Michael B. Jordan, MBJ, that's a different frequency because he added the B between it, and that's a number 2. So when you add that B to that number 5, that number 2 to that number 5, you get 7. In both systems, B is a number 2 in the Chaldean and the Pythagorean. So when you see Michael B. Jordan or MBJ, his initials tell me that he has to be focused. He had to dig deep. He had to be intuitive. He had to look within himself to become the Michael B. Jordan that he is today. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. So whatever you come up with and whatever you come down with, keep on applying and keep on using Michael Jackson as a ultimate reference of the abilities that you can strive to your highest and wisest, no matter what you went through as a child, no matter what you've gone through as a baby, no matter what you've gone through. You know what I'm saying? So that's how powerful that can be. On that note, I'm going to get off. Man, things are dropping. Must be things in the trees. Maybe the predator is out there. There are a lot of predators out there. And I'm talking about in nature. There's a lot of predators in nature. Enough respect to those predators and some enough respect to the victims because it keeps the ecosystem going. Whatever's happening out there, there's aliens that you've never seen in your life out there. There's aliens that you've never seen in your life in nature. When I go out there, I go out there with respect. When I go into the natural parts of it, I go out there with respect. Go out with respect. Any book you get, any book you get as far as doing initials you could do, go to any numerology book, my book, anybody's book. As long as they have letters and numbers connected, you could always go and learn the initials. It's just that I know how to tap in from my own perspective. You got to tap in from your own perspective. People will do this stuff and then they don't really want to use it. They just want to learn and be at parties and try to impress their friends and their family. Yo, he just looked up my initials and he told me about myself. That's good. That's a start. It's cute. But at the end of the day, if you pick up on these sciences and you don't use it to benefit not just yourself and your family, but the world, then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? If you find yourself being proficient in any of those sciences, any of those metaphysics sciences, any of the regular sciences, then use it. Don't hide it under a bushel basket. 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 So be willing to acknowledge the energy of Michael Jackson. Don't let people disrespect him in what they try to shut him down as over the years, because we find out later on that those guys was lying about Michael Jackson. And if Michael Jackson never really had a childhood per se, and he wanted to live his best life like a child, then that was his. That was his life. I do not believe, but I don't know. I do not believe that he molested any children or was a pedophile. Never, ever. I don't believe that. And I love what Diana Ross has said. I've loved what Stephanie Mills said. No, Mike ain't that person. It's just that he is born under a frequency of the 29 that can attract on the negative of it. They can 29s, 11s can attract treachery and deceit from other people. And when you have that much power and people are looking at you and you're making waves and changing lives. I mean, Michael Jackson went anywhere and people will come out in droves to see him at court. They'll come out anywhere in France, England, anywhere in the world. And when this quote unquote society of the elites realize that you can't be bought and you're buying up masters and doing that, they have to bring you down and shame you in some way. So Michael Jackson was not none of the negative that this media put out about him. But Michael Jackson was a child, a man that worked, thought like a child, was creative like a child, was original like a child, but worked like an adult. Les Brown used to say that. Think like a child, but work like an adult. That's what Michael Jackson was. And we got to remember him for that. He thought like a child, and he knew if he kept around children and supported children, that he would be able to pick up the energy of the future. He picked up the energy of the future and was able to talk to the souls of beings from not just the past, but even into the future. I mean, you could play ABC with the Jackson 5 right now and have children dancing right now. And that was written years ago. Matter of fact, that was written before I was born. ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. That song can have children dancing in classrooms right now. That's how powerful Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, but his voice was angelic. That was one of the Michael, the angel. And when you have that name, that's why parents have to be very careful of how they name their children, because with great names like Michael, with great names like Moses, with great names like Jesus or Esau or Joseph, names that add up to master number frequencies. Robert, those are all master number frequency. Junior, when you name your child Junior, if it's a junior, I don't do the J and the R. That's an abbreviation. I do the complete word of junior, and in the Pythagorean system and the Chaldean system, there's a master number 33 and a master number 22. The name junior. So when you become a junior, you're getting the added vibration different from your father when you are a junior. So you could be named such and such and such and such junior. But when you get that junior, that junior changes the whole frequency of the child, of the male or the female that might get it. People don't realize very powerful mathematical vibratory science called numerology, the study of numbers. I choose to manipulate it and connect it to the motivational aspect so people can stay on their highest and wisest walk in life. That's what my job is here to do. And I stay in my lane. Somebody texted me about chakra balancing, and I said, I've never came online and said that I balance chakra and I do numbers to chakra. Yes, you can connect numbers to chakra from all the way to the 12th chakra or the 7th chakra that they'll teach about. I can do numbers to chakra, but I'm not there to balance chakra. If I'm going to talk about chakra, then I'll talk about the root and the crown, the solar plex chakra and all that from a mathematical perspective, but I'm not here to align your chakra. In my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, I give you alternative ways from chakra therapy, sun gazing, massage therapy. I give you all, and I break down brief meanings, paragraphs in my book, and give you that. And you could turn any one of those into spiritual businesses. But I'm not going to claim that I do it all, and you could come to me for everything like I'm a one-stop shop. No, you come to me for numerovation. You pay for and circulate your funds for a numerovation session that will be recorded that you can listen to over and over and over again at your own convenience. That's what I do. I do not do numerology. I do numerovation. I do not do numerology. I use numerology as one of the guiding principles of what I do, because numerology means the study of numbers. I do numerovation. And many numerologists are going to have to realize that they're not just doing numerology when they're talking to people or they're trying to guide people. They're doing numerovation. Numerology was created by Dr. Julian Staton in 1907. That was a word that was put together with numero and ology, the study of numbers. And like I always contend to say, that any application of numbers in any way, when you have to use number in any way, that's numerology. The dollar bill, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, the counting system is numbers. Analytics is numbers. Looking at your likes and seeing how many people was on your line, that's numbers. Looking at a clock, looking at your computer, those are numbers, based on numbers, numerology. Keep it simple, and you'll find the grander meaning on multiple levels if you go back to the simplicity. And that keep it simple method will keep you moving throughout the learning process of using numbers appropriately for your own. Because you might be a mathematician. I sat down with Robert Edward Grant, who's a top-notch mathematician who wrote the book Polymath. And that book is in my cart right now, ready to come to my house. Polymath. And he wrote various songs, but he's a mathematician. And he sat down, he says, isn't numerology a beautiful science? A mathematician. He sat down and said, isn't numerology? And then I broke down his name, Robert, and how he has the master numbers and why he do bop, 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 bop. And I broke down his birthday, bop, 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 bop. And he's like, yo, wow, man. He was still, as a superstar mathematician, he was still intrigued by my interpretation of the numbers of his name and his birthday. He born the same day as of Janet Jackson, May 16th. So he was still intrigued. So I know why he's such a deep thinker. And I know why he does the master numbers and using mathematics as a healing and geometry and all kinds of math and algebra as a healing. I know why he's doing it just by looking at his name, his first active name, Robert. So family, on that note, love and support Michael Jackson. Go listen to his music today. I don't care if you're listening to it, whatever generation, whatever year, for those 50 years that Michael Jackson been on earth, go listen to his music today. Big up to Spike Lee that did a tribute to Michael Jackson and Prince at Fort Greene Park, one of my old parks I used to work out and train martial arts in back in the day with Wayne Muhammad and the Sanukas Rue family. We used to have to run up those stairs and get that workout in, do a lot of throws and all that kind of stuff. So take the time out to acknowledge and respect Michael Jackson for his master number frequency. Today. He's born on the 29th, and the 2 and the 9 equals 11, which is a master number frequency. And the 29th represents an aspect of two energies, one water, one fire, that can be combative with each other. But yet, if you learn how to understand how to use the interpretation of the 2 and the 9, because you'll find most people born on the 2 and 9, they can be contradictory sometimes, because they can be spiritual one time and then something might happen the next time. Because with those two energies being born on the 29th, you can battle between the two, the fire and the water, when all a 29 person have to do is calm their energy down, take a breather, and use the intuitive 2 and use the assertive intuitive 9 to make the master number 11 of spiritual adeptness, a spiritual adaptability, a spiritual awareness. And then that 1 + 1 = 2 brings you back to compassion and love and balance between the masculine and the feminine. There's a whole story when you understand the 2, the 9, the 11, and the 2. So I look at it all. When people come to me and they might be born under double numbers, I look at it all. Then I look even beyond that. Some things that you might not see or you might not be ready to see. Because I'll do sessions with people and people have come back to me and I ask them, did you read the book that I recommended you? And they did not, but yet they're coming back to me to do a session with the same damn problems when you didn't read what I told you to read, because I knew whatever new information that I tell you to read or guide you with, or if you go in the back of my book with the bibliography in the back of the books, it's there to give you new information or recycled information that you may not have known of, that may can trigger your DNA to operate on another level. But people don't want to listen sometimes. That's why I don't require people to keep on coming back to me every month or every day or every year to do a numerovation session. If you're not willing to unpack the 30 minutes for yourself and work on yourself, then you're wasting my goddamn time and you're wasting your time. Don't waste my time. And I don't want to waste your time. If you're coming to me seriously, because I'm not here to, I got to do mathematics before I do your session. I got to prepare. I got to overlook and look it over. And I don't have nothing around me until the day of the session. I might have various books around me. If my spirit says to go to this angel number book, if my spirit says to go to this book or that book, just to push the envelope in your head that if you put this stuff to work, it will work. If you put it to work, it will work. Just like anything else. Just like anything else. If you put a stove to work, it will work. If you put a refrigerator to work, it will work. If you put a couch to work, it will work. If you put a bathroom to work, it will work. If you put a bed to work, it will work. If you put your numbers to work, it will work. Whether you acknowledge it now or later. Take some now, get some for later. Ate some now, take some for later. Now and later. That's an old song for that candy. Now laters. Now and laters. Very good concept. And if I broke down the numbers to that, then I'll find out why they did that. But it's a very good concept. Showing you how these things work. Fix Formula 44. You know what I'm saying? These things are all in the psyche of our people. By Menon, an underarm deodorant. All of it have mathematical frequencies. All of it has a mathematical frequency. Every commercial you ever watch, KFC, it was Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then they broke it down to KFC. If you break down the mathematics of those initials, you're going to get why Kentucky Fried Chicken was such a success. Just KFC alone. Which is so interesting to me. Oh my gosh. What's so interesting that the letter KFC, K, F, and C. K is a number 2 in the Pythagorean. F is a number 6. That's 8. 8 plus 3. C is a 3. 11. 11 is the number of fame and fortune. KFC adds up to the master number 11 of fame and fortune. That's one of the fame and fortune numbers. It's the higher spiritual level. So that's naming it KFC from a Pythagorean system. You got the master number, which is, if you look it up, 11 is the number of fame and fortune, but they have to do spiritual underwork, spiritual underground work to make it that. They got to be assertive and keep on promoting it for it to be what it is. In the Chaldean system, KFC is 2, 8 is 10, 10 and 3 is 13. Boom, the power number 13. KFC. I just gave you in 2 systems and show you the power in both systems. And the number 13 in the compound number system is the number of power and dominance. And then it leads to a health numbers. Both of them leads to a health because 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and 1 plus 3 equals 4. Both of them are health numbers. So yeah, if you eat too much KC, it can affect your health. Oh yes, if you eat too much KFC, it can affect your health. And health positive, health negative. 2 has a positive effect and a negative effect. 4 has a positive and a negative effect. So as you know, because of so much grease and oil and whatever they're putting into that KFC, it can affect your health over time. It may taste good, may feel good, may look good. Those who still eat chicken, or if it is chicken, everything tastes like chicken if you season it right. I'm just showed you just with the initials. And what's so interesting, the Colonel Sanders was born September 9th. And 9 is an international number. And then he's born with the double 9s, another international high-level master number. I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this. I'm telling you right now, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I look at all of it. When I look at anybody's numeroscope, I look at all of it. And you can get my book through my link tree right on my Instagram. Those who want to get my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. All 4 of my books is on my link tree right here on the description of IG. Remember, I was watching Sandman the other day. I don't know if y'all seen that series. Very good series, very good metaphysics series. They put everything in it from this to that to this to that to this. They put a lot of the science in there. You just got to be able to go between the lines and check it out. Sandman and his sister Death, who was a black woman with an ankh on. Black woman who was with an ankh on. Let me say that again. She was a black woman with an ankh on, and they called her Death. She was his sister, and she went around collecting lives and being a pleasant face to those people that passed on. And, I was sitting there thinking, I said, when I transition, I want a pleasant face just like that to come to me and take me to the next realm, because I'm going to pass on in my sleep. I'm going to transition in my sleep. That's how I want to go out. I'm saying that now so I can put it in the ether. So when I do transition, no matter what age I do, I want to transition in my sleep and just go. Doing what I love to do. Doing what I love to do. And in the movie, she said to the Sandman, her brother, she said to him, our purpose is our function. Our purpose is our function. Your purpose, y'all busy looking for your purpose. But you already came through with a functional body. You just need to learn to manipulate the functions that you were already created to and find your purpose. And the mathematics, the astrology, the cardiology, and all these different sciences can help you along the way. That's why we had to find it again to give us guidance. Because many of us have lost our way. So it's there for you, because when you lose your way, that's when things come back into our sphere of existence to remind us, to help us recall, to help us to remember. And that's what numbers are here to do, help you remember, because our purpose is our function. Our purpose. And that was said in the series amongst the sister called Death and the white European white guy called Sandman. She gave him some wisdom. She said, brother there, our purpose is our function. And once you understand that, they have to have the whole English language. Like if you speak English, you're more metaphysics. But I got it. I understand, because a lot of that is in the East anyway. So I understand. Brother, you just have forgotten that our purpose is our function. You can't change your function, and you can't change what you came to do. You may be able to alter it in some way, but our purpose is our function. I have family in England, so big up to my people in England, all my family in England. I speak Cockney. Cockney English. I am the Queen's English. Oh. I'm having fun, but again, family, your purpose is already embedded in you. You don't have to go looking for it. You just need to gravitate inwardly and find what outwardly belongs to you. Gravitate inwardly, and then you will bring it outwardly that you need right here in the realm. Right here in the realm. It's here. It's here. It's here. You know what I'm saying? So, family, I was going to do this live around 9:00. I'm sorry, I ain't doing it no more. But because I started working out and I started doing certain things in the house, I said, you know what? Let me go with the flow. And I might upload this to my YouTube channel also. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by texting 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets, 347-496-1022.
Let's go.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the classes.